Well, violence against indigenous women is faced, we usually say, in two spaces. One in our homes and in our communities. And this violence is related with customs, it's related with values, it's related with cultural practices, traditional practices, and the role that is expected in the community that a woman and a man should play. And the other type of violence that we analyze, we call it institutional violence. Violence that is related with public policies that do not address diversity. For example, public health policies that consider that all women are the same and they don't respect cultural values of indigenous women. So the women are discriminated when they have to go to the services that are offered by the state, for example, in education, in health, in whatever area. This institutional violence is something that is practiced by governments, institutions, by NGOs, by other different type of actors. But we are also analyzing structural violence, the type of violence that women face because of economical measures, the economical model. If the economical model gives priority to corporations, mining corporations, of course that have impact on women. Women are expelled from their territories. They are forced to become prostitutes, or sometimes we're seeing that they're selling the young girls because their way of life has been completely destroyed because of the presence of different type of corporations. The other type of violence that we are also analyzing, we call it ecological violence, and this is related with the impact on sexual and reproductive rights of indigenous girls and women because of contamination, because of the exposure to nuclear waste in maybe in areas that were military based and they were abandoned, and now because the ice is melting, they are affecting indigenous women, and we see an increase of cancer and other type of disease in young girls in communities. So there is an environmental violence that indigenous women are facing. We also see an increase of violence related with militarization, related with the war against drug, for example, and the increase of military presence in indigenous communities. There is an increase of rape and abuse against indigenous women. So we see these two types of violence: structural violence, institutional violence, and violence because of traditional practices that are harmful in the communities. How can we address this? We believe that the first way to address it is related with the strengthening of our institutions, our own indigenous institutions. If we can strengthen our institutions that deals with administration of justice, customary law, and the men and women that are in charge of the administration of justice in the communities begin to understand what is violence against women and how this is expressed, of course they have to begin to make changes at that level.